Many months ago, Dan and I started this job of clearing the fallen down wall. I think I've got 2 left-handed gloves. We removed all the plants and the vines, and then we had to start dismantling the wall. Now, we knew this was going to be a really tough job.
That is one seriously big bit of root.
It is. Do you think you've got... No, you haven't got it all.
No, not all of it, no. There's another bit there growing.
So this is going to be quite tricky, because more or less from where that post is, it starts bulging. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can kind of see it here. So I think, really don't know how to tackle this, because there are some seriously big rocks. But my biggest concern is over here. Sorry about all this wobbling. We've lost the corner of the Ira. That's just pure emptiness. And if the water gets down in through there, it'll push out the bottom rocks. So it is something that really needs to be tackled pretty darn soon.
I'm just doing a little bit of clearing of loose rocks and earth, so we can see how far we've got to go with this wall. We can already tell it's bulging from about here to maybe the first ½ metre underneath the Ira. So there's quite a lot of wall to be carefully taken apart and rebuilt.
Despite the urgency and the importance of this wall being right in front of the house, we decided we were going to do other jobs, because we just wanted to put off the job that felt just too daunting. So we carried on with other things. Well, when I say we carried on with other things, there are lots of things that you've already seen, like the welcome garden and the courtyard garden and the car park area, all of that. But in the last few weeks, we were doing a lot more. So we'll show you that, but I can promise you, we did finish the wall, but maybe not how you expected. And we also discovered the reason that the wall probably collapsed.
I got this whole space scraped, kind of level adjusted. I wouldn't call it level because it's not. And I put a good trench in down at the lowest part of this section to make sure the water will drain away from the house properly. So we've got some gravel and we've got some plastic, not enough plastic or gravel because we can't move enough gravel in the pickup, and we got the end of the roll of plastic. So this really feels like the home run on the gravel. It's the last bit of gravel to be done around the house. Well, that's a pickup more or less empty, and this bit of plastic more or less covered. And I'm going to stop here for the day. It's raining, it's getting a bit dark, and it's time to put the dinner on. We've got some asparagus to cook. And you might be looking at the gravel and thinking, that's not the same colour as the rest of it. And you would be right. But we won't see the real colour until it's had a good wash. So it's a good job it's raining now. We might be able to see the real colour of this gravel tomorrow morning.
Okay.
That's quite thin.
Looks bigger. I'll have a bigger slice. Maybe I'll cut my slice now. Yeah, it's not, the puff pastry didn't really work as crispy on the bottom. It's very soggy.
No.
Doesn't work.
So along here, I want another piece of wood like this beast here, just to border this gravel. We might change them later for stones, but wood is pretty quick, and we do have some pretty big pieces. Well, I think this is the end of the gravel road. The road less travelled. but it might get a bit more travelling soon.
So here's the firewood, and there's all the trees Dan has cut, all the mimosas, and this year we've actually stripped some bark from them. We've still got the heads to process with the wood chipper, quite a bit. The car park is clear because Carlos is coming with the tractor to help us move the big wood pile from the old wood from the house and put it here. Oh, there's lifting.
Two hours with Carlos and the tractor, get this pile of wood moved from in front of the house out the way over here at the back of the car park.
We've been here for 5 years now. I'm astounded that we can still uncover things 5 years later, but we have. I have discovered the most incredible thing when I was trying to plant something in here. No matter what I try, everything fails. It just dries out so quickly, and wait till you see what's underneath it. What I was doing was, Dan was building a step over here, and I uncovered a rock when I was trying to plant something, and I thought this will be the perfect rock for the step. So this is where the step was, just there. And then I discovered this. It's a huge slab. And it's a bit like the stones that are on the Ira. And I thought to myself, this little space has got stones, standing stones. And I thought, why has it got standing stones instead of a wall? And now I'm thinking this was another little mini threshing zone or something to hold, but nobody has mentioned it to us at any time. I'm going to keep on going and see how much I can uncover. Now, I'm not dressed very beautifully for videos. My original plan of adding a bag of bought compost here to try and improve the soil a little bit hasn't worked. I had no intention of making a video about this. Well, I'm still hitting rock. So I'm having a wee break. Oh, I love the smell of the oranges. It's kind of difficult to film this. So what I'm going to do is carry on. I've just had another break for water because it's so hot. And whenever I get the last of this clay out, then I'll show you the next job I've got to do, because there's a tree stump in here, an elder flower tree, which I've got to get out carefully. And I'm thinking maybe this could be a wee table and chairs in the summer. Because it's quite pleasant in here. But working, shoveling clay is hard work. So I'm going back to it. Bits of broken pots. Just the black clay. Uncovered this one earlier. I have dozens and dozens of little bits like this that I've excavated over the years. You want an orange? Yeah. Here you go. See if you're a good catch. Are you a good catch? Or am I a good throw?
Oh no, I'll walk over. Stand in the shade.
And you can come and see my thing. I think I'm on my last scoop here. And I think that step was the step into this zone.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That. See?
Yeah.
And do you see the sloping stones?
Mm-hmm.
And then the elderflower.
Mm-hmm.
Have it well excavated. Oh, where's my spade? Well excavated. Don't suppose you fit in energetic. Hey. I've got one for you. Then I can show you. But I've already moved. Then I'll show you what I've moved. I'm kind of done in. So it's going to rain tomorrow, and I think that might wash off a lot of the dust. Quite the surprise. All I've got to do now is move these rocks. No, now I can't grow anything. Yeah, I've still got that root to take out, but hopefully it'll die back a little bit more now. What an excavation this has been. Well, I thought Dan had filmed the discovery of the spring, but he hadn't, and he hadn't said anything about it, so I'm just doing a bit of a voiceover so that you can see what we're talking about. He pulled back all of the rocks and the clay and the rubble from the base so we could start the building. He discovered a little ooze of water, opened it up a little more, and it came like a constant trickle. So we thought we'll let that run for a day or two until it empties out, expecting it to be a little pool of water or something. But that wasn't the case. It's been running for 8 weeks. So we put a pipe in and temporarily covered it with stones propped up on the clay, just in case it does dry up and it's all been a waste of time. But right now we're utilising that. We're using that to feed into a berm. So it's sitting in a swale at the moment. And then perhaps that spring will be gone by summer, never to be seen again, because that's sometimes how things happen with water, runs of water on the land. He's already dug a swale for water runoff a few years ago, and not a drop of water comes through that anymore. We feel that this spring is probably what caused the wall to bulge out and collapse. I've planted a tree. It's a persimmon fau they call them here. So it's like one of those apple style persimmons that you do that. So we'll take all that free water as a gift for now and see how it encourages these trees to grow. And I'm also going to plant the sweet potatoes there whenever the slips are ready to go in. I really couldn't lift the big stones, and I got in some man help to help start the wall. So we got the wall put together fairly roughly, and then I filled in with all the smaller stones and took my time. It's been rebuilt as a dry stone wall, and here it is. It's done. Ta-da! That is the grapefruit tree. Tim and Fatima bought us as a little gift, special gift. After 2.5 years, we now have a view of the garden. Ta-da! No more woodpile.
See you next time.